No other car in history has changed this much after taking ownership as much as the Tesla Model 3 has in its first 2 years. I've driven mine over 50,000 miles, which means I have no more new vehicle warranty, so I'm here to show you what Model 3 ownership has really been like, and if it's actually worth the $50,000 I paid for it. Thanks to Audible for sponsoring today's video. The 2-year mark for owning a Model 3 is sort of significant because that's when one of the biggest concerns of owning a Tesla comes into play: service and maintenance. Now, Tesla doesn't actually require service intervals for the Model 3, but in the manual, they do recommend some service at the 2-year mark. Here's all the service and maintenance I've had done to my Model 3 in its first 2 years, all of which have been covered for free under the warranty. Early on, my driver door handle wasn't closing as quickly as it should have been, so a Tesla Mobile Ranger came to my location and fixed it on the spot. Not long after that, my windshield wiper was making a clicking noise, so the same Tesla Mobile Ranger, shout out to Jeff, came to my location and fixed it on the spot. I also started getting my tires rotated every 15,000 miles, but luckily there's a tire place in my city that gives me free rotations, so no money spent on that so far. Last year, my cellular LTE data stopped working, so a new Tesla Mobile Ranger came to my location and fixed it on the spot. And finally, a couple months ago, my driver door was making a clicking noise, so a Tesla Mobile Ranger came to my location and, you guessed it, fixed it on the spot. Now, all of those were minor repairs that cost me $0, and none of them prevented me from actually driving the car safely from point A to point B, so the core driving reliability of my Model 3 has been pretty much perfect. Now, once I hit the 2-year mark, I figured I would go ahead and do the recommended service because I plan to own my Model 3 as long as possible. You know this. So I opened my Tesla app, which is awesome, by the way. To schedule service for a Tesla, it's all done via the mobile app within a few taps. So I scheduled my 2-year checkup, and Tesla quoted me $600 for cabin air filter replacement, wiper blades replacement, brake caliper cleaning, and brake fluid replacement. This was a bit of a sticker shock to me, but since this is all just recommended and not actually required, I requested only the brake caliper and brake fluid service, which ended up being $390. After factoring in my DIY $30 air filter replacement, the total I've spent on maintenance comes to about, wait for it, $420. Elon, I see what you did there, you sly dog, you. That means I've spent about $8 on maintenance for every 1,000 miles traveled. Not bad at all if you ask me. Now, let's talk about one of the unique aspects of owning a Tesla: charging the car. Now, some people who have never owned an electric vehicle are quick to bring up the argument, doesn't it take long to charge? Where will you charge it? Are you scared you'll run out of battery? Well, guess what? I've never run out of battery or been stranded, and about 90% of the charging happens at home overnight while I sleep when electricity is very cheap. Owning an electric vehicle has saved me both time and money by never having to stop at gas stations during my normal daily driving. The only time I charge at a Tesla supercharger station is when I'm traveling on a road trip. In fact, I've only supercharged 29 times during my first 52,000 miles, and I've only spent $54 on supercharging so far. To find out the total I spent on charging, we need to get geeky with some numbers. Now, my off-peak home charging rate is about 7 cents per kilowatt hour, and since 90% of my miles traveled were done by charging at home, that's about 46,800 miles. My Model 3's lifetime average efficiency is 244 watt hours per mile, and if we consider a 90% wall-to-wheels efficiency, my home charging cost comes to about $900. After adding in supercharging, my total cost to travel 52,000 miles is right around $950. That means for the same cost of 6 months of cable TV, you could drive over 50,000 miles in a Tesla Model 3. Seriously, cut the cord if you haven't already, okay? But that's pretty crazy, right? The fact that I haven't even spent $1,000 on charging after 52,000 miles. Of course, these are all approximate estimates, but the point is the cost to drive a Tesla Model 3 is way cheaper and more convenient than any gasoline vehicle. And most people don't even need to get an additional charging outlet installed at home. On a normal electrical outlet, a long-range Model 3 can regain 60 miles of range overnight, assuming it's charging for 12 hours. If you're interested in seeing more videos about charging costs and road trips, check out some of my videos on my channel, and better yet, subscribe so you don't miss my future Tesla videos. Now finally, let's talk about the Model 3's improvements. I recently made a video about things I dislike about my Model 3, but the beauty is Tesla can fix a lot of those nitpicky complaints through a free software update, which they've provided plenty of those since I got my Model 3. You may have heard about some of these new software updates, such as the big one that came out around the holidays that gave Model 3 owners more sophisticated voice commands. Now, this was huge because so many things in our world are moving toward voice controls and audio feedback. In fact, one of my favorite audio platforms is today's sponsor, Audible, which is my favorite place to get all of my audiobooks. If you're a fan of Tesla, you have to listen to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is one of Elon Musk's favorite books. And he also says the author Douglas Adams is his favorite philosopher. Now, the audiobook is a funny sci-fi adventure in space, and the narrator Stephen Fry takes it to another level. It's definitely worth listening to, especially if you're new to audiobooks, because it's less than 6 hours long. I can get through it in a week just listening in my Model 3 during my daily commute. Now, as an Audible member, each month you'll get 1 credit towards any audiobook of your choice, plus access to unlimited monthly Audible originals, which are exclusive audio titles only for Audible members. If you want to listen to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or any other audiobook of your choice, you can get your first audiobook for free, plus access to Audible originals when you try Audible for 30 days at audible.com/AndySly or text AndySly to 500-500. Again, that's audible.com/AndySly or text AndySly to 500-500. Now, back to Tesla software updates, they have given my car fart mode, new games, and entertainment apps like YouTube and Netflix, which are a game changer for my wife when we are supercharging. But it's not just these fun, quirky features. Legitimate improvements to the actual performance of the Model 3 have come from software updates. My car has become 10% quicker since getting it in 2018. And my driving efficiency has improved from things like the hold feature that they added. Tesla also pushed a software update that improved the Model 3's motor efficiency, and based on the Tesla Stats app, my estimated range is now 329 miles. That means after 2 years and 50,000 miles, my estimated battery range has increased by 19 miles. That's unheard of and completely crushes the argument that the battery will need to be replaced anytime soon due to degradation. Now, other cool features have also been added, like Smart Summon, which lets the car drive to me in the parking lot, along with Sentry Mode, which records security footage from the car's cameras and lets me view the footage directly from the touchscreen display. And of course, one of the best Tesla features, Autopilot, is constantly improving and getting better as more Tesla owners drive their cars, which makes the neural network exponentially more intelligent with each mile driven. This type of dynamic improvement cannot be found on any other car. The Model 3 is an absolutely amazing vehicle and an even more enjoyable piece of technology. It's truly a giant gadget that brings so much joy and convenience to me as an owner, while also improving the environment ever so slightly by making me never need nor want a gas car ever again. What do you think of the Tesla Model 3? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to see more Tesla and tech videos in the future. My name is Andy. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.